Hello everyone. So today we are going to see how can we save creation and updation timestamp using Hibernate. So object timestamping feature of Hibernate today we will be see in this video. So this feature keeps track of the object or record is saved and inserted initially. So if you want to keep the record when the object is inserted into the database or updated or how many times it is updated. So we can also keep the track of when the record or object is lastly updated or modified. Object versioning feature keep track of how many times the object or record is modified using the Hibernate persistence logic, where object timestamping feature keeps track when exactly the object or record is inserted and lastly updated. So what are the use cases of this timestamping? So keeping the track of the when the password lastly changed. So if you have a website and you want to keep the track of the password whenever the user is changing, in that case we can use this time stamping feature. Other example is keeping the track when the stock market share values lastly updated. Next example is keeping the track when last transaction happened in the bank account. So in the annotation driven Hibernate programming, we will use this @creation timestamp and @updation timestamp, these two annotation, and third one is @version. So we can enable timestamp version features at a time on a single entity class. In timestamp feature, we can take separate column or property holding the object record insertion date time and another column for the updation date and time. So let us see the example for this. So here I will be using here a Eclipse ID. So let me close all the editors. So go to the file, go to the new, go to the Maven project, and here we will create one Maven project. We have to click on next, and in the catalog choose internal. In that we have to choose the quick start, click on next. Then here artifact ID means our project name we have to give. So what I will do, I will give here a project name is timestamp. So package name I will take com.test and group ID com.test. Then click on finish. So it will take some time to create our Maven project. So let's wait for some time. So our Maven project is created, timestamp. So we have to go to the pom.xml. Now in order to use the Hibernate, we have to add some dependencies. So here you can go to the mavenrepository.com and I will give link of this in the description. From here I will copy this Hibernate dependency, and next step you have to go to the pom.xml. Below JUnit we have to paste that, Ctrl+Shift+F for formatting. Other than Hibernate, we'll use other dependencies like this Lombok dependency. If you want to use, you can use for generating the getter and setter methods. So below Hibernate core, Ctrl+Shift+F for formatting, Lombok is added. Now here we will be using the MySQL database. So for that we have to add the MySQL connector J. So this link will also be provided in the description. You can go and copy this dependency and go to the Eclipse ID, and below Lombok I will add this Ctrl+Shift+F for formatting, MySQL connector J, Lombok and Hibernate core. So these are the three dependencies we will be using here. And next what we have to do is we have to add the Maven compiler plugin. So for that what we have to do is go to the browser and we have to go to Apache Maven project. In that we have to copy this Maven compiler source and target. This link will be also given in the description. So after copying that we have to paste here, Ctrl+Shift+F, and I will be using here 1.9 version of Java. So 1.9 I will take let's save this pom.xml. So what we did is we added this Hibernate core, then Lombok and MySQL connector jar, connector J. These are the three dependencies we added, and add the Maven compiler plugin. So after adding this, what you have to do, right click on this Maven project and go to the Maven, and we have to add the update project. Update, click on OK. So here you can see Java version 9 is coming. Now next thing what you have to do is src main Java. In that com.test Right click on this com.txt, go to the new and go to the package. First of all, we'll create some packages. So one for entity package, and next thing is com.txt. Right click on com.txt, go to the new and go to the package. Here we'll create another package called com.txt.util. So these two we have to create the package. After creating package, go to the maven, go to the update project and click on OK. So the project will be updated. So after that, what we have to do is go to the entity, right click on this, go to the new, go to the class, and here we'll create one account. So what we'll do, here we'll create one entity called account. So here we have to create private entity. We'll take here a string account ID, then private string account holder name you have to save, then another private double double, and what we'll store here, balance. Then next one we'll integer count, and here we'll take at that version, yes, for versioning, that is how many times the record is updated. Next we'll store the creation time. So string creation time, let me see, here we have to take the data type as a timestamp, timestamp timestamp. Control Shift O for importing this. Control Shift O. What happen here? At the rate creation timestamp. Control Shift O. Here yes is small. Control Shift O, and here we have to import this java.sql.timestamp. Let's save this, and at the last here we'll take private time stamp, and here we'll take updation time. Here I will be using update timestamp. So this timestamp data type you have to import by java.sql.timestamp. Now this account ID I will take as a primary key. So at the rate ID annotation we have to use. This name balance is done. So this count, then it will store the insertion when the account holder is saving, that is storing the cash into the bank, and this updation time is whenever the account holder take the cash, then at that time updation time will be here, updation timestamp will be stored. Now this we have to annotate with entity entity at the data for getter and setter method. Control Shift O for importing entity. We have to import jax.persistence.entity, then at the data for getter and setter methods, at the all args constructor, and at the no args constructor. Now table. So if you want to take the table name as you want, account tab. So I will take here a name as account tab. So what will happen here, let us see. So here what will happen, one table will be created. That table name will be account tab, and in that table how many columns will be created, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So first column will be account ID, second column will be name, balance, count, creation time, updation time. So table with these columns will be created in the database. Now entity is done. What properties we have taken, account ID, name, balance, count, creation time, updation time. Now next thing, so go to the util package, right click on this, go to the new, go to the class. Here we have to create Hibernate util. This class we have to create. Now here we will take here a static session factory equals to null. Control Shift for importing. So we have to import org.hibernate.session factory. Now here we will create static block, and in that we will create configuration object. So configuration equal to new configuration. Control Shift O, let me import first of all origin.hibernate.cfg.configuration. Configuration object is created. Now we will not use here a hibernate.configuration.xml file. Instead of that, we'll use properties to set the whatever the database related information. So properties props equals to new properties. Control Shift O for importing. Now props dot put. Here we have a class called environment dot user Control Shift O environment. So what is this class? Let us see. Control Shift A environment. Yes. So this is the class. Let us see in the above. So here we can see this class provides access to the configuration information passed in the properties object. So whatever information we store in the configuration file, in the XML file, instead of XML file we use this environment. So whatever the like JDBC URL, username, password. So for that purpose it provides access to the configuration information passed in the properties object. So this is the user. Then we'll put here props.put environment dot URL. So here we'll be using MySQL database. So here I will be using MySQL workbench. Here you can see I have already created one schema called new. You can also go here and create one new schema. So I have already created that. So here we have to give the JDBC URL for MySQL. So JDBC colon MySQL colon / local host colon 3306 / new. So this is the JDBC URL. This URL is in the capital letters. URL. Let's save this. So JDBC colon MySQL colon / localhost 3306 / new. New is the schema name we have to create. And this is the JDBC URL for the MySQL. We have to provide that. Then username of your database. So whatever username you have given at the time of downloading, that we have to give here. Control Alt down. And also next thing what you have to provide is password. So password is same root. Control Alt down. Next show SQL. If you want to see the whatever the SQL queries that are executing by the Hibernate on the console, then you can give that. Control Alt down. I will give here a format SQL. So I want to see the queries in the formatted manner, so that's why I am giving here format SQL. And last thing is here hbm to ddl.io. hbm to ddl.io I will create here as an update, so that will see Hibernate dialect will see whether the table is present already or not. If the table is not present already, it will create that. If the table is already present, then it will alter according to the information, right? Then cfg dot set properties. Then we have to pass the properties. cfg dot add annotated class. So we have created annotated class with the name account dot class. Control Shift O ACCOUNT. Control Shift O. What happened? I think here we save with the 3C. Let me change to the 2C's. Let's save this. Go to the Hibernate util account.class. Control Shift O. So set property is done. Add annotated class is done. Now it's time to get a factory. So factory equals to cfg.build session factory. The next thing what we have to do is public static. We'll create two methods for the session factory and session. So public static session. Where is session factory? Here is factory. So let me copy this. The return type will be session factory. Get session factory, and we have to return the session factory. How can we return? We have already created one variable, static variable factory, that we have to return. So return factory. Next thing, we'll create another method for session. So session and get session factory dot open session. Control Shift O for org.hibernate.session. Let's save this. Now Hibernate util and entity is done. Now it's time to save the employee account records. So go to the class, go to the com.test. Here we have to create class that is for saving. So save, I will create. Next thing what you have to do is in this main control space enter, get the session factory object. So how to get that? Copy this session factory equals to Hibernate util dot get session factory. Next get session object, Control Shift O for importing org.hibernate session. So session SCS equals to fact here Hibernate util, and already we have created method get session Control Shift O import org.hibernate session. Then here we will use try with resources. So for that factory semicolon session. So this feature is available from the Java 9 version. That's why I taken here 9 version. If you are using the lower than 9 version Java, then it will throw the error, right? So try with resources. Here we will create catch exception equals to e.print stack trace. Now create the account objects, right? Objects. So account acc1 equals to new account equals to I will give here a1 b1 Sam, name of the employee, and he has account 5000. Control Shift O. What happened? So in the account we'll create a constructor. In order to save that, we have to create a constructor. So right click on this, go to the source, go to the generate constructor using fields, and uncheck this last three, check the first three, because we will not save this count, creation time and updation time. It will be stored automatically by the Hibernate. We'll only store the account ID, name and balance, right? So we'll not required to store this count, creation time and updation time. That will be taken care by Hibernate. So we are creating this constructor using these three fields. Now go to the save. Now the error is gone. So Control Alt down. I will create here 4 objects, 4 account objects: A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, B2, B3, B4, Sam, John, Ram, Angela, 6000, 7000, 8000. So we have to save this into our database. So we have to begin the transaction. Session dot get transaction. So here session dot begin transaction. Now save the objects into the database. Session dot save account holder 1 semicolon, Control down. We have to also save account 2 and 3 and 4, right? Now at the last we have to commit the transaction. So how to commit that? Session dot get transaction dot commit, right? So let's save this. Now what we'll do, we have to run this. Control F11. Let us see whether the table will be created or not. It will take some time to run our application. So here we can see, yes. So create table is executing. This is a SQL query in the formatted manner. So earlier there was no table. If I refresh here, you will able to see that the table is created, that is account tab. What is the create query for creating this? Create table account tab. At the next we are storing the 3 records. So 3 insert queries you can see. Now go to the MySQL. If I refresh here and click on this table icon, here we go. If I zoom here, here we can see A1, B1, A2, B2, A3, B3, A4, B4. Sam, John, Ram, Angela. Creation timestamp, you can see that 2 days. At the time of recording this video, the time is 17:03. That means 5:03 is the time, and today's date is 22/10/2022. And count is, you can see that 0 because we have not updated as of now. So updation time is same as creation time because we have currently saved this. So our save operation is done, and creation and updation timestamp you see, right? So we have successfully inserted the data. Now it's time to update. So right click on this com.test, go to the new, go to the class. Here we'll create one class called update, right? In the update, let me take this main method and stuff this catch and try catch block, session factory and session. So let me copy this, go to the update, and here I will paste Ctrl Shift F for formatting this. Now let me delete this. Also we have to delete this, only will be required here a factory and session. Now here we will try to update the information and we'll see whether the count will be increased and updation time will be changed or not. Here you can see 17:03 minutes and 41 seconds updation time of A1 B1. Now what we'll do, we'll update the balance. So time should be updated, updation time. So here we can see, let me copy this and I will store in the commit. This is the updation time of A1 B1, and this is also the insertion time. Now here first of all get the record. So get the record. So what you have to do is account acc equal to session dot get class and id. So what is a class? Account dot class, and what id? I will take here A1 B1 because we have to update the balance of A1 B1. Now next is begin the transaction, session dot begin transaction, then account dot set balance. Earlier the balance was 5,000. You can see here, if I zoom here, you can see that A1 B1 balance is 5,000. Go back. Now Sam, here from this account it took 1,000 rupees. So what will be the balance now? 4,000. So said balance I will take here as 4,000. Now we have to commit the transaction, session dot get transaction dot commit. So the updation time and the time whenever will we update that, and count that will be updated, right? So after that what we'll do, sys out count, we'll see count, that is account dot acc dot get count, and also we'll see sys out updation time. So how to do that? So get updation time, right? Let's save this. Now I will run this. So control F11. It will take some time. Here we go. here we can see update query. First we are selecting, that's why select query, then update query. Then you can see that count is increased to 1 because we have updated one time, and you can see that the time is changed. So let me copy this time and we'll compare it with the initial time. So here we can see, here is coming 42, earlier it was 41. So if I go to the MySQL, refresh here, and I will zoom here, you can see that A1 B1 count is increased to 1 and updation time is 17:12 while the creation time was 17:03, right? So we have updated that. Now let us see the another example. Now here we'll take A2 B2 and let us take for A1 B1. If I put here a 3000, control F11, here we go. Now the count is 2 because we have updated twice and updation time is changed, right? So if I go here, if I refresh here and zoom here, you can see that count is updated, also updation time is updated. So this is a way so we can save the creation and updation timestamp with the Hibernate. So what we did, let me explain again. So first of all, we created entity with the name account. In that we take account ID, account holder name, balance, count for what purpose, how many times his record is manipulated. So here we have to use @version annotation. Then next is creation time. So here at what time the record is created, if you want to save that, then we have to use this @creation timestamp annotation, and the data type you have to take in the entity class is timestamp. Then also if you want to store the updation time, then you can use this @update timestamp. Then we created Hibernate util for session factory and session object. So here we use configuration. We didn't use here a XML file. Instead of that, we use this environment class and properties. Then set the properties. Here we have to give the JDBC URL for MySQL, then username, password, hbm2ddl.ito. If you want to see the SQL queries, then you can give show SQL and format SQL. Then we have to build session factory. You have to use this method. Then we created two static methods, for one for session factory, next one for the session. Then after that we created some object, that is account details. Then we begin the transaction, then we save and we commit the transaction. After that we return this update. In that we update the balance of the employee, and after that we have seen how the updation time is changed and count is also changed. So if you like this video, you can hit like button and subscribe to our channel. I will also provide the link of whatever the dependencies I have taken here, and also whatever code we have written, that link I will give in the description.